Hey, it's all with a special guide, a series of best practices to collecting trash and common transmog items in Warcraft for the upcoming 10.0.5 patch. Because in this patch, it's actually happening. The junk that you auto-sell and the vendors that only sell gear Iron Man players dare to use will now unlock their relevant appearances. I want to make it clear that this is not a guide to finding all of the best and rarest appearances. A number of those guides are already out there, but I'm going to at least mention a few here. This guide is to help you prepare for unlocking appearances without wasting too much of your time, and without going broke. So like the video if it's useful, subscribe for more content, and let's begin with add-ons. I come back to one particular add-on that has done a fantastic job of tracking the transmogs that you've unlocked and still need, and that is All the Things. All the Things is a collection tracker that has a powerful menu, and it can show you everything that you have not collected yet in a given area, or, well, everywhere. It also tracks items sold from NPCs, and with a mouse over you can identify what has and what has not been collected from them. I want to point out that the patch is not out yet as of this video. All the Things has not been updated to support the patch yet, and there's no guarantee that it'll support 10.0.5 on day 1, but it's definitely being worked on. All the Things will help you in your transmog hunt, but it'll also save you time and money so you don't end up running blindly from one area to the next. You don't want to run into two vendors that sell the same two items. You don't want to kill tons of boars to find a common transmog that you already unlocked years ago off an uncommon appearance. And you don't want to buy something off the auction house that you could have easily collected yourself. A tracking add-on like All the Things lets you collect in confidence. Now again, it won't surprise me if the trash and common item support is not 100% implemented early on, but once it is, you'll be able to see on the submenu here all the moggable items per zone and instance and NPC, just like you can with all other current items, pets, mounts, and more. On the flip side, you may want to consider your add-ons that auto-sell junk. Thankfully, Leatrix Plus, an already popular add-on, includes an option to not auto-sell this equipment. It also includes a host of other options that are off by default, so it shouldn't immediately interfere with other add-ons. And now we're off to collecting, but we gotta be smart about it. You don't want to first start off by getting all reckless and buying trash and uncommon transmog from the auction house. Most of the time, it's bait. Someone's trying to hustle you, but if you want to try the hustle yourself, hey, there's nothing to stop you. I say that before the patch, start by collecting items that you can buy off of vendors, bind on pickup trash, and common items you can find yourself. If you got a few extra characters handy, here's what you can do to collect in advance while keeping your main character's inventories relatively clean. Create or use an existing character based on each of the 4 armor types and weapon unlock combinations. So a warrior, hunter, mage, and demon hunter will cover every armor and weapon type. The warrior will basically pick up every weapon because they can. Demon hunters will pick up warglaives in the few, if any, places to find them, and ideally these characters should be at a high level in case you run into level requirements. From there, hit up the capital cities first, and buy everything that character will be able to unlock. Just keep in mind that it's likely that you've unlocked some or more of the transmog already, but it's not a huge waste of gold either, so no big deal. Faction hubs from the expansions like Dalaran also carry common items like check out these offhand flowers. The garrison also carries a number of farming tools if you're interested. My main characters have been also taking the trash and common items that they've been collecting and throwing it towards these characters. From here, you'll start to venture out to find more unique items sold by vendors. This specialty dressmaker in Moonglade sells some limited quantity dresses, and they look great. Other outposts in expansion zones sometimes sell unique pieces. A different set of flowers can be bought from the Culling of Stratholme before the event is underway. Going through the vendors first means that day 1 of the patch, you'll be standing around for a while unlocking appearances, but you'll put a big dent into your collecting without dealing with too much RNG. There's also a selection of unique Mog from starting zones. It'll be worth blasting through the Worgen starting area for the top hat that it eventually awards. There's more than a few vanilla profession recipes that have unique appearances like the Tuxedo set. Technically, Legion legendary base pieces make up the mythic Sanctum of Domination set and can be equipped. Now this is going to be great for gold makers, but for money-minded transmog collectors, I say hold off on buying them outright, and consider those as your own little quest to tackle later. That takes care of the easy stuff, outside of limited quantity items which you may want to consider selling in the auction house. But what about the good stuff that's harder to get, that's easier to sell on the market? There's a lot of it out there, but I'm going to highlight just a few that have crossed my path. The Blood Elf Bandit mask can be farmed off Bandit on Azure Mist Isle. A diamond-tipped cane can be found through Legion fishing, and no doubt there are a few appearances that hardly anyone knows or had just forgotten about. It's still going to be a while now, but when the patch initially drops, your very first step ought to be to log on to just about every character that you've put some work into. Odds are good that you'll automatically unlock a number of appearances based on quest completions from like 10 years ago, and there might be some trash or common transmog lying around with them too. Then unlock all the transmog that you've collected from drops and vendors. Anything that's left over, just throw it up on the auction house and try selling a few of them. There's no shame in making money off someone else's impulsiveness. Finally, hope that the All the Things add-on works. It's going to give you a good idea of where you're now at with your collections, and hopefully will clue you in on where to obtain what you're missing. I hope these little tips helped you on your way to what is going to be, well, what I think is going to be a pretty big explosion in old world farming, and the trading of this trash and uncommon gear. We should not underestimate moments like these that unleash gold into the market from people who otherwise don't have anything to use their gold on. And it'll be fun to revisit the world to collect stuff. So have fun out there, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more content, and I will catch you later. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.